guys, welcome to the pattern making of the corset. So first thing first, I gathered my bodice block. This is just a basic bodice block, by the way, and then I identified front and back and set the back aside. The whole work is going to be on the front, so I took my front pattern and then I did the circumference. How to get that circle is from your bust point to your under bust. So I use it to make that circle, and when I'm done making that circle, I went ahead to do my neck depth. And after I done my neck depth, which is 8 by the way, I went ahead to roll it, and then I went ahead to make new shoulder space by using 0.5. So as you know, the normal bodice block is not up to my real waist level, so I'm going to be adding to my block here. So here I just add a total of 2 inches. You can add 3 inches if you're on the taller side. So I just rule it and then I connect it together. After connecting it together, I went ahead to connect my dart as well to make sure that I still have the firm look. So I went ahead to connect my dart, and using same that 0.5 that I used to mark my basic bodice block vertical dart, I used that to also mark this one. So after I'm done, I'll just cut out the excesses and we can work on this pattern together. So after I'm done doing that, I'm going to go ahead from my center front and measure 2 inches from the down part. So when I do that, I'll go to the side and measure 3.5 inches and connect these 2 lines together. So I just cut it out, and then I'll be working on my shoulder space. Remember I said I used 0.5 to draw that line, so I'll just connect it straight up, and then from there I'm going to mark my shoulder space. But before I mark my shoulder space, I'm going to go ahead and close my shoulder dart just to give it a very beautiful finishing. That's where I'm closing my shoulder dart. But those of you who are like a professionist, you don't need to close your shoulder dart while measuring your shoulder space. So having done that, I'll just go ahead and measure my new neckline now. So I'm measuring between 9 to 9.5, so it depends on how busty you are. You can choose to measure 8, but since this is going to be a corset that we'll be wearing on top of my dress, so you can go as low as you want. It will still bring out the beauty. So when I'm done, I'll go ahead on that shoulder that I close. I'm going to be measuring 2 inches or 1.5 depending on how wide you want it to be. So I'll put my ruler just on that shoulder space I close, and then I'm going to mark left and right 2 inches. When I'm done, I'll connect it to my lines, and then I'll connect the front part to the neck depth. So after I was done doing that, I just went ahead to mark 1 inch there to just play around with the pattern of my corset. So when I'm done, I went ahead to also mark where I want the strap to be stopping. So that's where you see me marking there. So I'll just go ahead and put on the shape I want this to come out in, and then I'll go ahead and do my back part. After cutting that out, I just went ahead to mark 0.3 left and right, my shoulder space on the bust area, on the upper bust area, and then I took it in. The effect of that is just to snatch and make sure that your bust area is firmly when you wear your corset. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead and put the numbers of panels I want, and then I'll go right ahead to the back part. So in any dress you want to sew, you should know that the way you draw your that's not the way you're going to cut it. So you need to make sure that there is no curve in all of those that side. So just make sure you smoothen it up before cutting it. So I'm going to have 5 piece, and then I'm going to set the front on the back and use it to draw it out, and then I'll go right ahead and cut my back out, put the panels I want, and that is all about this pattern. Thank you so much for watching. If you've not watched the sewing video, please go ahead and watch the tutorial. I'll also link it in the description box, and I hope you will be able to choose the right fabric to make your pattern. All in all, I use half yard of fabric to make this. So if you also want to make yours, if you're on the bigger size, you can use like 1 yard, but if you're like size 8, size 9, size 10, you should still be able to use half yards of fabric to make this. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in my next video. So I almost forgot that the strap went from the back all the way to the front, so I'm just using my front part of the strap to make the back part, and that's just what I did there. And I cut it out and I'll tape it together using 0.5. that is supposed to be my sewing allowance. So I chose this cotton and print map fabric for my own, so you can choose whatever fabric you want. I'm very sure this is going to work in even brocade fabric. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.